Alright, so this is the tutorial for the out of bounds to Crags to Underworld skip and Underworld to the rest of the game. So this first part here I sort of glossed over. By glossing over I mean I didn't talk about it at all because there's not really much of a trick to it. You just want to try to clip through that corner there, and then what you want to do is right as you get out, you want to watch your timer and see once 15 seconds pass, and once the 15 seconds pass you want to start turning around there. And once you turn around, you want to try to hit a wall. Then once you hit that wall, you're going to want to do a couple things to make sure you're either dropping up or dropping down or climbing up to get into the right hole. Now, you can see I'm going to show this cam bounds turned off now. So you'll see while you're going out of bounds, there's really not much out here. You're just holding right for the entire time. And once you land, you're going to be getting pretty close to the entrance. And you'll see there's this top part and this bottom part here. And you want to be able to climb up a certain amount to tell whether you're on the top part of the little hole or the bottom part. So if you're on the bottom part, then you'll know you won't be able to climb much at all. But if you're on the top part and you can climb up a bunch, then you'll know to drop down instead. So now that you're in the Underworld, this is where the actual hard part comes in. This first part you'll do mostly like the regular linear because the layout of the level is pretty much the same, so there's really not much to talk about here. This next clip where you're trying to clip out of bounds in Underworld, it's also pretty simple. It's a bit easier because the corner is right above you, so you can just throw yourself into the wall over and over again. With the clip, there's really not much, not too many secrets to them. You just want to do them a bunch until you get the hang of them. So here, while you're out of bounds in the Underworld, it's mostly like with the Crags skip, you're just going right the whole time, except you want to mash a bunch to make sure you're getting over those ledges and also climbing up the big walls that are out of the way. So here you'll be out of bounds for about a minute. It really doesn't matter because you'll see yourself dropping anyway, but you can watch this little guy crawl up and down, and where his pellets go is probably where your Y positioning is. So once he starts firing closer to the bottom of the screen, you'll know you've started to fall. So that'll be around this cycle. So you'll start falling, but you've got plenty of time. So basically you're going to be walking around here for another few seconds, and eventually you're going to drop. And once you drop, you'll have plenty of time to turn around, and eventually you'll hit Barma. And once you hit Barma, you want to rope dart him to get yourself into position. And then you want to start really hacking at him. So you're going to want to count to 65. What I tend to do is just count to 30 and 30 and count to 5. It doesn't have to be exact. You just want to have around 65 hits. So here, what I'm doing right now is I'm counting to myself to 65. And then once you're at 65 or so, you want to jump over him and go into the shop that's in the next room. So while you're jumping over him, you're heading to the left. And once you get through the cutscene, you want to finish off the last 5 hits or so that he has. And you can use these shurikens like I did to make sure that you're going to be slashing in the right place. And if you're not sure you have enough hits, you can use the regular shuriken strat to keep them in place for a few extra hits, but you should be fine. Even with my worst counting, I've been able to get them just fine. It takes a while for them to go away, so as long as you're pretty close to 70, you'll be fine. So here in this next part, you'll want to quit out to the main menu and quit back in. Or select back in. And this is the tricky part. So I'll show this first part without cam bounds, just to show you what the trick is actually going to look like in the run. So this first part, once you can't see yourself on that screen, you'll know to jump up to the left and start climbing up that wall. And here you're just going back to the left again. And there's this little clip that you do here where you'll mash A for a few seconds to get up the wall, and then you want to mash A and rope dart simultaneously to really clip into this corner that you'll see once I turn off cam bounds. So here you want to take this shortcut that leads through a little green medallion area. And what we're going to be doing up here is the bat leash. So the bat leash is, it's not terribly difficult, but you want to make sure you know what you're doing. So you should really do pretty much exactly what I did there to make sure that that and these little rolly guys are going to be in the optimal position. So essentially what you're doing is you're waiting for these guys to come over here. And so once he's around there, you want to jump over, and you want to make sure the bat is as low as possible. So when you leash him, you're able to hit the roly-poly guy while you're on the same Y position as him. Because if the bat is too high, then you'll end up going over the roly-poly guy, and you'll just kill the bat. So you want to make sure you jump over the roly-poly guy as soon as you can in order to make sure the bat follows you down. So back up here, we're going to be clipping back out of bounds. This one's also, it's not really any secret. You just got to put yourself to it. And that one doesn't actually lose time if you mess it up until you get to the point where the bat is, right where you are. So here, it's pretty tricky. It seemed pretty tricky to actually get the camera relocated. But what you want to do in order to get the camera back to where it was before, without getting too dangerous, is you want to glide and wait till you're gliding and hitting the floor. And once you do that, the camera will reset, and then you can just get along just fine. So what I do here in order to set up for the actual trick itself is I line myself along this line of tiles that are going up and down. You can use the floor as a visual cue, but I use the little corner edge that's right above me as a visual cue. And so now we're waiting for the bat, and what I do to get myself into this position is I wait for the timer to start ticking up to a particular second. So once you see it start hitting up to a second, you want to move over, and you want to tap to the left once. And then here, it's kind of hard to explain because you can't see, but I'll show a cam bounds version, and I'll explain what I'm doing. Okay, so here's what we're doing in cam bounds. So you'll see this is you climbing up the left wall. And soon we'll be approaching that first out of bounds clip. That's not terribly complicated because you're just mashing. There's the little corner, and what you want to do is you just want to mash jump and rope dart, and soon you'll be able to get into that wall. So now I'm waiting for the bat, and you'll see where I have myself lined up. So once I watch the timer, I'll wait for a particular second to start counting up, and then I'll hold right for as close to a second as I can, and then I'll tap left just to make sure I'm facing the right way. So there I go, waiting for a second, tap left. Now I wait for the bat, and I wait for the sound effect of the bat hitting me. Then I jump, wingsuit, and then hold right again, just for a little bit. And then once I see the screen transition, you'll see it when you have cam bounds off in like a regular run. You'll see the screen transition down, and then you'll know just to glide back a little bit to the left, and then press jump again to get into the Manfred.